Hello and welcome to She's the Boss. She's navigated the ever-changing digital market space and helped her clients achieve the maximum returns on their marketing spends. It's such a pleasure to welcome Rubeena Singh, the CEO of iProspect, one of India's leading performance marketing and digital agencies. Rubeena, thanks a ton for joining us here today.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to meet you, and thanks for the lovely introduction.
You're welcome. So Rubeena, you've called women the smarter gender, and as a feminist, I obviously agree with you wholeheartedly. But how do you justify this sentiment to say the naysayers?
First of all, I think not as a feminist, you should agree with me as a realist.
That's true.
And frankly speaking, I don't feel the need to justify. It's my view, and my philosophy in life has been that hold your beliefs and carry on. There'll always be naysayers. But I'll tell you why I think women are smarter in general about life and not just at work. And you know about the human physiology. There are two sides to the brain, the left brain and the right brain. The left brain is obviously known for analytical skills, to do, have directions better, be better with numbers, computation, directions, distance, and all those kind of things. And the right side has got more, it's more emotional. It's got to do more with creativity, making decisions when full information is not available, imagination, innovation. We all know men are stronger using the left side of the brain, and women are better at using the right side of the brain. And my belief is, in the days to come, all the things that the left side of the brain does is going to be replaced by AI and robots. So that definitely gives women an edge. And also, I mean, on a more serious note, I think it's been proven medically that there are more interconnectors in the female mind between the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere. And that is why women are generally better at multitasking and have far more balance. So I think that's why women definitely are the smarter gender.
I have to agree. I'm not going to disagree with that. Now iProspect also has a very interesting background. When they started in India, they didn't even have, say, a women's washroom, right? But now more than a third of their workforce are women, and I'm sure it's been a very interesting and progressive journey. How did you as a leader and the company in itself fight these sort of gender biases that are inherent in the workspace? Things like women pulling other women down. I'm sure you've seen that as well. Women reaching very critical life stages when work sort of deprioritizes over children. How do you think all of this has been navigated to create somewhat of a gender equality workspace?
So to be honest, I've spent just about 100 working days at iProspect. But I think the culture that I've seen here is extremely congenial, friendly, and devoid of any gender bias. And that is reflecting of our, in the percentage of women employees that we have. And I believe that is because Ashish and Vivek have laid a very strong foundation for that. And I hope to carry on the good work on that. But yes, the reason we haven't seen too much of women pulling other women down or men pulling women down or vice versa at iProspect is because I think we've grown so quickly. In the last 3 years, we've had a 3x growth year on year. So it's been a lot of opportunity for everybody to grow and not too much time to focus on other things. Also, one of the very strong values of Dentsu Aegis Network is collaborative work. And we have very little tolerance for people who try to pull other people down in general. As far as coming to the other part of it, women having to prioritize their family for, and taking a little bit backseat at the work. Unfortunately, it's not a perfect world, and I think all the solutions are subjective. So my belief is that for those of us who have a better support system at home, we are able to balance things far better than those who don't. However, having said that, for those who have to take either to pause or to take a little bit of a slowdown to raise very young children, I think as leaders, it's our duty to have a culture where we open our organizations to women who want to come back and join the workforce when they're ready again.
Now Rubeena, you also worked for 12 years with Network 18. You spearheaded many of the digital as well as print properties, as well as on television, right? CNBC, CNN, as well as Forbes. What was the one key leadership lesson that you took away from that experience?
So the one key leadership lesson that I learned was a captain is as good as his team. Okay. So you cannot deliver alone. You need your team to support you.
Right.
And because of that, I think I've spent a lot of my time in guiding, empowering, and mentoring people in my team.
Right.
And also motivating them. Like I said, I spend a considerable amount of my time in attracting the right talent and then nurturing them. And also employee satisfaction and happiness, because I feel if your team is in general happy, clients and business will follow.
That's true. Absolutely. And the Indian government has clearly demonstrated its intent to make our nation and lead it into the digital era. How long do you think we have to go before we really achieve that goal?
I think it's going to definitely happen much sooner than we all expected it. I think today we are about 400 million mobile internet users. If you look at China, at a similar stage is when the tipping point happened. That's when the whole, they reached that inflection point where digital became main scale in China as well. I think it's going to happen very soon in this country as well. Also, like you said, the government has unleashed a new wave of measures, whether it's digital payment solutions, or it's other citizen services like the BHIM, UPI, Aadhaar stack. I think they're setting us up to be in that space in the digital era extremely soon. I think at the same point in time, awareness, adoption of digital products as we see it has happened very quickly. To give you a case in point, we all know it took television 80 years to get 100 million subscribers. But you look at Jio recently, it's taken less than 4 months. So I think
what a contrast, right?
Absolutely. So I think before we realize it, we're already in the digital India.
Good. That's again, we're seeing it happening around us also so much. So what do you think will be the 3 game changers then that will completely revolutionize the digital industry?
So I think the first game changer has been demonetization, where I think the government has forced people to change their habits of using cash. Instead, people are making now more digital transactions. Even today I was reading in the papers that it said that the cash circulation is at least 26% below what it was prior to demonetization. So definitely that has changed user habits. People are using digital methods now for more transactions. So they're using digitally. So that is a big one. Second thing, I think the Aadhaar stack is a huge initiative in providing a very secure and unique way of enabling digital transactions. So even for people who are not educated, who are not able to yet come into that fold of it, I think it will completely change. I think the third point is in the recent few months, we've seen that telecom penetration has increased exponentially while the data prices have come down. Therefore, more and more people have adopted to digital right now. So these 3, to my mind, are the largest factors which are affecting us right now.
So again, India is such a complicated country. It's so complex. We're a nation of over 1 billion people. Where do you see the shift really coming in? The kind of macro and micro trends that will lead to a sort of convergence, that will lead to a truly interconnected digital space.
So I think we spoke briefly about the macro trends. So the mobile penetration is increasing. Mobile internet penetration is increasing tremendously. That's happening at one end. The government is definitely giving a huge thrust on digital transactions. That's the other macro trend. I think on a micro level, if we look at it, the consumption of video content on mobile has enormously increased in the past couple of years, not even a couple of years, actually 18 months if you really look at it, it's increasing exponentially. Also, a lot of products are being designed only for digital. So there's a lot of digital innovation, product innovation happening, right? While it started in a small way, I think when the adoption happens at a large scale, that's when the convergence will completely happen, and it's going to be the times of the IoT of things, in businesses, at homes, at factories, and that's when the whole convergence will come through.
let me just move to your personal story also, which has been quite interesting. You have an MA in statistics. You've been a gold medalist from the University of Mumbai. So how did a statistician like yourself find yourself in the big bad world of media?
It's not been the big bad world for me. It's been a fairly interesting ride.
Right.
But I think I got here by, I think it was a confluence of coincidences.
Okay.
When I was pursuing my major in statistics,
Yeah.
I never imagined to be in the media industry.
Okay.
However, a chance meeting with a family friend led to an interview with Star TV.
Okay.
I liked the work. I liked the role that was offered to me, though it was like really at the ground level, starting up at that point in time.
Yeah.
And I think from there on, it has been a very interesting journey, and there's been no looking back. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Okay.
And I hope somewhere my education in statistics came to use.
You're using both sides of the brain then also, right?
I'd like to believe so.
Like a true achiever. Great. Yeah. And I read something very interesting that during your campus placements, you were offered a job with a large US-based financial institution, but you actually chose to work in India. Now, this is very interesting because it's the typical like sort of aspirational Indian story that they want to go overseas and work. So, what made you sort of stay back and be here?
I'm a very family person at heart.
Okay.
So this job, involved me moving from Mumbai to Bangalore.
Okay.
That itself for me was a big one. First time staying away from family.
Yeah.
And I think when they offered me to move overseas, I just decided not to take that up because I love Mumbai. With all the pollution and the traffic jams and everything, I love Mumbai.
Yeah, it's a very magical city. You can't help but fall in love, right?
Yes, I wanted to be back in Mumbai, close to my family.
Okay.
And I also believe India has been it is the land of opportunities.
It is.
So that's why I chose to come back. And I think when I look at it at hindsight, it's worked out perfectly well for me. Having the balance of family and a successful career, so it all worked out very well in the end.
We're very happy to see that. So you're a patriotic feminist who believes in the India story, and now you know why she's the boss. So Rubeena, thank you so much for joining us here today. It's been such a pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful meeting you.